Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah nahmaduhu nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruhu wa natubu alayh. Wa na'udhu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina. Min yahdihillahu fala mudilla lahu wa min yudlil fala hadiya lahu. Wa ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu. Wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu rasuluhu sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Now, amma ba'd. Barakallahu feekum, jazakallahu khair. Today, barakallahu feekum, I just want to, inshallah ta'ala, give a talk today, a mini lecture or mini talk, to be able to, inshallah ta'ala, give y'all some information that is very important. We're going to talk about basically about a title, about a topic. It's called, it's called the shepherd, a shepherd over his flock. Now, we're talking about the shepherd over his flock. What is the responsibility of the shepherd? What is the responsibility of the shepherd over his flock? Like, he have many duties and obligations and so forth like this that he have to conduct throughout the day or whatever his job requirements are. This is an enormous struggle for one to be able to take care of things, animals of abundance, to make sure that they eat, to make sure that they are protected, to make sure that they go to graze the land, they make sure that they drink water, they make sure that most of all that with the topic basically going to be about the predator, it's about the wolf, how the shepherd have this responsibility to make sure that the wolf does not fulfill his desires upon the innocent. So the shepherd, he is someone he was groomed. It's something that was thrown into his lap. It's not something that a person a lot of times want. The shepherd himself, if you look at majority of the stories of the prophets, majority of them were shepherds. They took care of the animals, the herds. They make sure they was fed. They make sure that they stayed focused on traveling back and forth throughout that land that they was in. The shepherd was the eyes and the ears. He knew how to read body language of the animals. If the animals may have heard or felt as though that something wasn't right, something could be behind them trees, they can smell the wolf, and they start moving a certain kind of way. So it was part of the expertise of the shepherd to be able to to remain focused upon this understanding of harm, that nothing harmful should happen to this herd, to these sheep, or whatever the case may be. Now we know that the wolf himself, the wolf is a predator, and he was created this way by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the way it is that it's something that is in his instinctive behavior of survival, that why he preys upon the innocent, or he preys upon that what is considered as food. The shepherd is the one who to prevent the wolf from fulfilling his desire. So this is real important that when we talk about bodyguards, or we talking about security officers, or we talking about in general, we talking about husbands, who has a position to fulfill, and a man, a trust by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that a man was entrusted with women to be able to treat them kindly, to make sure they are protected, to make sure they are maintenance, to make sure they are taken care of properly, and that we are their protectors. Alhamdulillah. So, and also dealing with family. We also are the protectors of families, of our family. Our children, and anything that is that's in our possession, anything that we have, that Allah Ta'ala gave us. This is things that as men we have to fulfill the obligation to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, to make sure no harm comes to anything that's in our care. Now, so we have to make sure that safety is always a priority when dealing with our families and so forth like this here. Because we know, like the shepherd know, okay, that there are predators out here. These are predators out here that prey upon the weak. And when we talk about, when we go into talking about the predator, like what is his main focus? Like what is a hard target? Okay, a hard target to the predator is that you may find someone that is alert and so forth like this, and they're aware, they're alert, so forth. They don't put themselves in bad positions, ways that they can be an easy target. Okay, so there it is. A hard target is one that's alert, is aware, it knows about the enemy itself, and they try to prevent or try to stay one from getting any harm done to by from the predator. So that is the understanding. Even in the sense we're dealing with the shepherd himself out in the countryside and so forth like this, that he also have to know about how this wolf, when does this wolf come around? What is the wolf looking for? Where do the wolf resides? Because it's important that he understands the psychological effect, the psychological understanding of the mind of the wolf. How the wolf think, where does it live, what type of prey is it looking for, what season it usually come out, what time it comes out, so that they won't be the shepherd won't be putting them in harm's way. And that goes the same with us. That goes the same with us as being men, protectors, and so forth like this. That we have to make sure that our families are protected. We have to make sure that our women are protected. We have to make sure that our children are protected. And anything that is in our custody or in our care, as being righteous servants of Allah, right? We have to, slave servants, righteous servants of Allah, that we have to make sure that we take care of them with kindness, and that we protect them from harm. So it's really important that as men that we understand this. We know that there's many some surahs of the Quran where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, I believe in the Surah An-Nisa, ayah 34, I believe, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about that the men are the maintainers, that they are the maintainers, protectors of women and of the women. So this is the ayah to the end of the ayah, and we know that this is the speech of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we know that this is something that is from the usul of mandatory, something that is from the Sharia, something that is legislated. So as being men, that we have to start protecting our families much better than what we're doing. Dealing with, I'm talking about the physical aspect of protecting them from harm. Because if you look into the media, you look into the news, even on social media, so forth like this, you will see that it's happening in abundance throughout the land, ways that you have the Muslim women being attacked. And they're being attacked only because of what they have on. They don't even know the person, whether the person is a good person. The person could be a brilliant, nice person, like, the kindest person on walking upon the face of the earth at this given time. But this individual doesn't care about that. He cares about what she have on. It's what she have on that that attracts them to that what is evil. They believe that the Muslim garb represents something that is not from their land and so forth like this here. So you become an automatic victim of an assault, or one begin to prey on you because you got your hijab on, you got your scarf, or you got your jilbab, or you got your burqa, whatever is that you wear. It attracts attention. It attracts attention into the minds of criminals, whereas that they may, find that and sexy. They may find that beautiful to the point that, but if their heart is bad, which the kuffar, with their heart is bad, majority of them, as Allah Ta'ala reminds us in the Quran, that these people, no matter how much you call them to Islam, that they will not accept Islam, because because what? Because Allah had placed a seal on their hearts or something to this effect. So it's really important that you can call them every day, but it's up to Allah Ta'ala to guide them. So they have the sickness, disease that Allah Ta'ala had placed in their chest, that placed and them. So they have this evil. So when they see the Muslims, alhamdulillah, and it goes back way in history. It goes back in history, ways that the women was murdered and killed and raped and so forth like this here. Some of them were skinned alive. Some of them, one of the first Muslim women believers during the time of the Prophet ﷺ, While they was in Mecca, they had, I think her name was Sophia. I think they put a spear in her body, and from angles that I don't even want to speak about. But the reality is they put a spear in part of her anatomy, punishing and torturing the women like this. So I'm saying to the fact that and if you look all over the world, you will see a lot of this happening. Muslim women just being killed and so forth like this, because and a lot of times it's because like they don't, that they believe that the men is not protecting their women, that the Muslim men is not protecting their women, and to a degree we're not. Some of us, a lot of us, majority of us, we let our women travel alone, because we working or something like this here, or we have other things to do. But in this case, that to stay in order, I'm talking about the stay in of Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. He said the Prophet some said the best place for the woman is in the home. So and this is the best place for her. That it keeps a whole bunch of Aisha off the streets. Not saying that she's fitna, but she is fitna to the men. So yes, she is attracted, and so a lot of times men that have bad hearts, they will see her and they feel sexually attracted to her. Just because they can't have her, it makes them more attractive. So it's real important that even sisters, when you do have your garbs on and so forth like this here, that you got to remember that Allah have given you the best. Allah have given you the best dress, that you are protected. And into the minds of men, evil men, people that is not upon, that have no taqwa, that have no fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, feel as though that what's underneath of there. And you got to always remember this is so important. And then even when you wear the niqab, alhamdulillah, may Allah Ta'ala reward you, that wardrobe, that the niqab itself, it represents also beauty. It represents beauty, that you are covering yourself, you are protecting yourself, what you call a hijab. It is a protection, it's a shield from anything that is evil. But the shaitan, the shaitan, he finds this as something like, for instance, okay, he see purity, so he want to take that purity away from you, basically, because he understands that this is beauty, and she's righteous, and he don't care about the women that's walking around naked and so forth like this. They don't care about this. They want about that one that's pure, that representing purity. Wanted to basically, as they say, turn you out, destroy you, So take your self-esteem from you. So yes, you want to be, if the more you come in the streets, or you come in urban cities, or wherever you at, in the markets, places, and so forth like this here, you're going to be harassed, and sometimes these harassments may go a little further, because a lot of times, sisters, you may not know how to handle the situation, especially if we come from Jahiliyyah. A lot of times you may say, person might say something to you that's provocative or something that out of order, disrespectful. Instead of you just saying telling yourself to fear Allah, because you understand these people condition and you want to get to a safe area, so forth like this here, that you want to leave off any type of verbal confrontation. Okay, so you want to leave from that situation and go about your business and get to a safe area and remove yourself from it, because it's only going to escalate, especially if you have not been trained and used the correct verbal understanding on how to de-escalate the situation. If you're not took no classes or anything like this here, because de-escalation comes with taqwa. It comes with fearing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, knowing what to say and how to say. A lot of times, we find ourselves, men and women, we find ourselves, because we come from Jahiliyyah, somebody say something wrong, the next thing you know, we say things like, don't get it twisted, underneath here, yeah, I wasn't always a Muslim, but alhamdulillah, we got to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you are Muslim, and Allah took you from out of the brink of the fire and made you Muslim. So alhamdulillah, there's something to be thankful for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for, and we don't want to put ourselves in these positions, the ways of Jahiliyyah. So we have to abandon the ways of Jahiliyyah. So the more you stay in the homes and the more you are respectful in public, alhamdulillah, that, maybe Allah Ta'ala will protect you, alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen. And brothers, we got to make sure that, We are the shepherds for our flock. That we there. We make ourselves available. We're never too busy for our family. It's very important. If you're not worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, something to this effect, or you're in some type of ibadah, then yes, your family comes after that. That your family needs you. Your family needs your protection. Your family needs your leadership. So we want to make sure that we understand that, we have an obligatory duty to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and also, a manner to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and a manner to our children, because it's the trust that Allah ta'ala blessed us and gave us the family. And now it's upon us to sacrifice our time and to be able to be there for our family, because we know that in the land that we live in this world, is that it's a lot of crime, it's a lot of evil going on, there's a lot of things that would not be going like overseas, basically, or maybe in the different places of the globe. But we do know that here is that, a lot of times, you may hear that you got a Muslim woman that got into a fight, or a Muslim woman got shot, or a Muslim woman got raped, or a Muslim woman got snatched, a Muslim girl got beat up, a Muslim girl, got on drugs, So we know that, as men, we know this is going on, even dealing with the young brothers as well, and also with our women, man. It's real important that we understand this. It's real important because they are what we call the pearl. They the pearls, right? They are pearls in a shell, man. It's like, when you look at the sister themselves, they have that protective burial, but inside of there, because they worship Allah Ta'ala, and they upon the sunnah of the Messenger of Allah, that they are our sisters in Islam, huh? And then they become our wives. You understand? They are our sisters in Islam, and then they become our wives. Alhamdulillah. So we got to understand that they are pearls, right? Like a clam, that has a shell, and inside it is a pearl. It's a pearl, and it's like it's safeguarded. You understand? Allah protected her with her uniform, with her dress, but inside of there is something much better, and we have to make sure that we protect that treasure. That treasure. That Allah Subhanahu wa Taala have entrusted us with. So it's real important, Barakallahu Fikum, that we understand this. Okay. All right. So sisters, I just want to let you know that. When you walking about and you in the land, then you can make sure that you are you're carrying yourself. Your hijab, is your hijab is your protection. It is your shield. You know what I'm saying? Your aura. How you carry yourself. This is the most important thing. How you carry yourself as a Muslimah. How you carry yourself as being representing Islam, a Muslim woman. And this goes also for the brother. But this one here is basically, I'm trying to break it down where that we can see both sides of the fence. You know what I'm saying? We're on both sides of the fence here. And the sisters, you just got to remember this all the time, that these men out here, is just trying to strip you of your dignity, humiliate you, to say that basically, I had you, and my brother had you over there and so forth. But then the next day, we put these garbs on and so forth. And that go for the men too, running around with these women. And I'm not here to bash anyone, because no one is perfect. But we know that we put ourselves in these positions, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will punish us because of the things that we do. You know what I mean? So getting to what the main topic was about. I'm sorry I got off a little course a little bit. But the main thing is that I just want to make sure that the women are protected. Okay? And that we are the shepherds among our flock. Now, let's get into like a couple minutes of who's the sheep among the wolves. We are talking about our little ones, and we are also talking about the women. Why? Because the wolf, the predator, always trying to outslick the shepherd who's on duty to try to steal and eat one of his herds. Okay? So the thing is that we always want to make sure that we understand this, that they always trying to take our children from us. They will come in your home and sit up there and set up shop and try to get your daughter outside the house. They will do anything to try to remove your child, okay? And that's just on a spiritual sense, but on a physical sense, it's a whole different level, okay? Whole different level. Men out here now and are snatching. They are raping young girls and so forth like this here. They are kidnapping women. So I just say this to say that, we just got to be more alert. And sisters, you have to be more alert. You got to stop trusting. You got to understand your boundaries, and we will get into, maybe the next time, we'll get into how to set boundaries when dealing with a person. What is the distance, a certain distance? We're dealing with the level of boundaries, your safe zone, and so forth like this. It's real important that you understand this, because a lot of times, like I said before, we come from a socialistic society where is that, we believe that everybody can walk up, they can hug you. They don't even know half of the people. They shake your hand. Yo, how you doing, brother? How you been? And we so happy, go lucky, or whatever the case may be, and we shaking people's hands. We don't even know the people half of the times. And this is how the predator usually gets his prey. Trickery. That's their main thing. So my main conversation today, brothers and sisters, is about the shepherd watching over his flock correctly, his duties and responsibilities, and also the wolf, the sheep among the wolves. So it's really important that we understand this. Okay. So inshallah ta'ala, I don't want to take up too much of the time. So like I said, it was going to be a mini talk. The importance of it is that you want to make sure that you stay focused, that you practice situation awareness, that you try to practice and put that in your everyday life, how to avoid certain areas, certain spots, certain people, and also be correctly, how to defend yourself correctly according to Kitab and the Sunnah, so that it can be upon righteousness. Because you just want to make sure that you have the tools to be able to fulfill your obligation if someone was to attack you. And we'll get into that later on, but the main thing is that we have some classes coming up as well that, the sisters are very well welcome. I believe it is on a Saturday, the 30th of May, I believe. On Facebook, I think it's from 6 to 7, and on Instagram, I believe it's from 2 to 4. So come on, it's live. Come out, sit down with your family, benefit. We'll be doing some lessons, and we'll be doing some self-defense tactics. It's approximately for 1 hour. Get your popcorn, whatever you're going to do. Sit down and benefit, okay? All right. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdika wa ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta wa astaghfiruka wa atubu alayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect all of us. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect the innocent and the oppressed. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive us our sins. Astaghfiruka wa atubu alayk. Assalamu alaikum.